Hey everybody, I'm going to talk a little bit about a dude that we all remember from The Green Mile. It's kind of where he got to start, the movie The Green Mile. Pretty kind of depressing movie, but in the end it launched a career really of Michael Clarke Duncan. Actually was up for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor in that movie. Well, Michael Clarke Duncan, of course, was a very physically imposing man. Very large man, 6'5", 300 pounds. A lot of his life. He was about 300 pounds now. Of course, we all remember him from, the big movie that he was in, The Green Mile, but he was also in The Scorpion King, Daredevil, Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, Kung Fu Panda, Green Lantern, bunch of movies, the whole 9 yards. He was in a bunch of movies, had a pretty solid career, staying pretty busy in movies and television. Now, Michael Clarke Duncan, of course, died at the age of just 54 years old in 2012. He had a heart attack, and they could not bring him back, unfortunately. Now, you hear a lot of good things about Michael Clarke Duncan. He actually was, I believe, a basketball player, and he played basketball at for one season at Alcorn State, so that's pretty decent. He was also involved in Disco Demolition Night. Now, if you get a chance, this is at Comiskey Park in 1979. This is where they burned a bunch of disco records and a riot started. He was involved in that. This was before he got famous. Got his career started, though, in Hollywood, basically as a bodyguard for the likes of Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Jamie Foxx, LL Cool J, and Notorious B.I.G. And when Biggie was killed, he decided to get out of the business and concentrate on being an actor full time. And again, he got, actually the role in The Green Mile was not his first role in Hollywood. He was actually, he had some very small parts in some, Players Club, Bulworth, Armageddon. But again, his breakout role was The Green Mile, nominated for a bunch of awards. Michael Clarke Duncan was, like I said, a very, very massive man. I think there's a picture of him here next to The Rock. I want to show you guys this picture next to The Rock. He really, here it is, just dwarfs The Rock. It really shows you how big of a man Michael Clarke Duncan really was. I mean, in The Green Mile, those pics, there's another pic. In the Green Mile, he was standing on a platform. A lot of people may or may not know that, I guess, but most of that movie he was standing on a platform. Here's a great pic of that. Obviously you can tell by where his waist is that he would have 6 foot tall legs there if that was. But he's still a huge guy. I mean, it was just one of those things where in The Green Mile it was just unbelievable how big he looked compared to guys who don't lift weights or anything like that. Here's a picture with Ben Affleck, and he was in the original Daredevil, and he was also in the Planet of the Apes remake with Mark Wahlberg. Actually, I think in 2001 or 2003 or something like that. He's a big guy, and he actually, towards the end of his life, I think he saw what was coming his way if he didn't change his ways, because he switched over to vegetarian. He changed his diet, lost about 30 pounds, so he got well under 300 pounds, and he leaned up quite a bit. Here's a pic of him. I think he just probably, stopped going to the gym, stopped eating all the meats and the high-fat foods, and he just got older. I mean, we all get older. It doesn't really necessarily mean he let himself go. Here's another pic of him there. That's 2.5 Men, I believe, right there. So he's had a lot of appearances on a lot of shows. And he kind of died, he changed his diet. He went to be a vegetarian, but it was a little too late, as they say. Michael Clarke Duncan, a lot of people have a lot of good things to say about him, and it was just one of those things where, these bigger guys, they just don't live that long, unfortunately. You see this a lot in bodybuilding, you see it in professional wrestling. They're carrying around so much muscle mass, so much weight for so long, they get enlarged hearts. Their hearts work a little harder. They have to, to pump all that blood through a guy that's that big. And unfortunately, it gets to the point where there's just no going back. And so rest in peace, Michael Clarke Duncan.